On Granada and live now, your late regional news bulletin.
Good evening. A 39-year-old woman has appeared in court in Prestatyn, charged with the abduction of baby Lydia Owens from a North Wales maternity hospital. Mark Owen was in court.
Ashen-faced and with her black curly hair scraped back into a high ponytail, Susan Ann Brooke from Grosvenor Avenue in Rhyl was led into the dock by a male and female police officer. She faces one charge, that on February the 10th, she took, without lawful consent or without reasonable excuse, a baby from the maternity ward at the Glenclwyd Hospital in Bottle Widden. Reporting restrictions were not lifted. Medical evidence was given during the hearing, which in total lasted for an hour. Susan Ann Brooke held a tissue to her face, her head bowed, as the chair of the magistrate, Sarah Glasby, announced the decision to remand her to a secure hospital in Denbigh until her next appearance at Prestatyn on February the 27th. Baby Lydia Owens was just 4 days old when she disappeared from the cot beside her mother's bed in the Glenclwyd Hospital. A woman had befriended her mother, Christine, and asked to see the baby. A massive search operation began involving police and the local RAF base. An appeal on television led to police acting on information received, raiding a house in Rhyl and recovering baby Lydia, who doctors say had been well cared for. Tonight she's at home in Llandudno with her parents and her brother and sister.
The former owner of a model agency in Manchester has appeared in court charged with a series of sex offences, including conspiring with millionaire businessman Owen Oyston to procure women for sex. Peter Martin faced 58 new charges, including 18 counts of rape, when he appeared before Trafford magistrates. Martin was granted conditional bail, but was remanded in custody while the prosecution appealed against the bail order. He appeared in court last week charged with 1 offence of rape and 2 of indecent assault. A man has been seriously injured after a shooting in Liverpool tonight. A man who's in his 20s was walking along Hawkins Street in Kensington when a shot was fired from a red car which drew up alongside. He was hit in the back and is on a ventilator in the Royal Liverpool Hospital. Detectives are waiting to interview him. A murder hunt is underway in a small Derbyshire town tonight after a 20-year-old man was shot dead. Eddie Hoy was working in his uncle's Chinese takeaway in Glossop when he was gunned down on Saturday night. Detectives say they still haven't discovered a motive for the killing. Angela Piers has the details.
Eddie Hoy was working alone at the front counter of the Golden Arch takeaway in Dinting Vale in Glossop. His family, who were in the living accommodation behind the shop, heard a shot and found his body in the lounge area. Mr. Hoy had been shot in the back of the head in an execution-style killing. Detectives say his background and the reason for his killing are still unclear, but they haven't dismissed links with the Chinese mafia, the Triad.
We know very little about Eddie Hoy. He is a Hong Kong Chinese by birth. He's 20 years old, lives on his own on the housing estate at Gamesley, which is part of Glossop. He does have relatives in this area, but we're very keen to trace any other relatives that we haven't spoken to yet, and any friends, associates, sporting colleagues or whatever that may be involved with him.
The Chinese community in Glossop held a religious ceremony in Mr. Hoy's honour outside the shop this afternoon. Meanwhile, detectives are still carrying out house-to-house inquiries in the area. They're appealing for anyone with information to contact the incident room on 012 987 2100.
2 brothers have been killed in a road accident in Cheshire. Anthony Murrell, who was 12, and his 10-year-old brother James were hit by a car last night on the A50 at High Lee, close to the Bears Paw pub. The brothers, who were both from Lymm, died before reaching Warrington General Hospital. An inquest has been opened and adjourned. A violent prisoner has escaped from Lancaster jail. It's thought he climbed the wall of Lancaster Castle using a rope made of bedding. Seamus Murtagh, who's 36 and serving 4 years for robbery, was last seen yesterday afternoon on the prison wing. Police say members of the public should not approach him. Vernon's Pools is to cut donations to charity because it says it can no longer afford them. The Liverpool-based company says strong competition from the National Lottery has forced it to stop giving almost 5% of stake money to the Foundation for Sport and Arts. Since the lottery started in November, Vernon's has lost 15% of its income and made 95 redundancies at its Liverpool head office. More than 500,000 signatures have been collected for a petition urging the government to keep open 5 blood transfusion centres, including those in Liverpool and Lancaster. 400 jobs will be lost under plans to reorganise the services. Unions have organised a demonstration in London tomorrow from Trafalgar Square to the Department of Health at Whitehall. Police in Liverpool are hunting a gang who've taken ram raiding to new levels by building their own motorised battering ram. They took a stolen lorry, welded a metal pole to the back and rammed a Securicor van, trying to puncture its armour plating. The attack happened at a Tesco store in Allerton, but the van's armour held and the raiders got away with nothing. Football now, just one result tonight in the Premiership. Everton drew 2-2 with West Ham. Paul Rideout and Anders Limpar scored for Everton. And that is the news tonight. Join us tomorrow morning at 6:15 in GMTV. Very good night.
Showers in coastal districts will die away to give a mainly dry night with clear spells developing. It will become rather cold as temperatures drop to near 4 Celsius away from the coast. Tuesday will start fine and bright with some hazy sunshine for a time. However, a thickening cloud will bring outbreaks of rain to the Isle of Man and North Wales towards midday. Rain, soon reaching the Lancashire coast, will spread to all parts during the afternoon. The rain will become persistent to give a wet and windy end to the day. The middle of the week will bring a mixture of sunshine and showers, possibly heavy for a time, with hail. After a fine start on Friday, more wet and windy weather will reach all parts during the afternoon. It will remain windy on Saturday, but temperatures will again be on the mild side.